Hello, everyone. I am your host, Steven Avalos, alongside my dad.
Hello.
And today we're just going to do our usual rundown with sports, baseball, football, and basketball. So, how you doing today, Dad?
Not too bad. Enjoying the beautiful weather. I've been hitting the golf ball once again, so I'm feeling good.
Really good. That's really good.
How are you doing? Tell me about yourself.
Well, after the past few weeks, I'm finally done with school. Not like completely done with school, but I finished my sophomore year. Right now, I have a GPA of 3.3, if you round it. But still, I'm doing really well.
Very impressive.
I look forward to being able to go back to campus in the fall.
And that's happening for sure?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right on.
Still got to sign up for classes, but either way, I do look forward to going back to class, physically.
Yeah. Things are supposed to be opening up here in California here. Starting the 15th, I think. Everything is going up.
And then the 29th, that's when
the A's open up their stadium.
Yeah, completely.
Completely.
That's going to be really fun. We should make sure to get tickets for that day.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be a great plan.
Yeah.
But anyways, though, we're going to start off with baseball. We've been looking at the standings, and one thing that really caught our eye was the Chicago Cubs. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. They were really good against the Padres in their home series.
Actually, you know what? The entire city of Chicago has had a good run this week. The White Sox are in first place, 7-3 the last 10. The Cubs, like you said, is 9-1 out of their last 10, just beating the Padres.
Yeah, and they beat them soundly too. It wasn't like none of the games really were that close.
I think you would call that beating them like a drum.
Yes, and
do we have any drum sound effects?
No.
Okay. Next year, when our budget grows,
or we could just have people imagine it.
I can.
Heads. No.
There you go. Okay.
But to talk about the A's have been ever since they had that really nice winning streak, the longest winning streak I believe in baseball this year. They've been pretty up and down. I think they're barely over 500 from there, but they still do hold the number one spot in the AL West. They are a game ahead of the Houston Astros.
Yeah, they lost the last two games against the Angels and lost the first game against Seattle.
A walk-off. First time they've been walked off on this year. Pretty frustrating.
We want the walk-off. We don't expect it to happen to us.
Yeah, but then they won the next two games. Really nice offense all around in the second game of the series. A lot thanks to Tony Kemp.
Yeah, the little guy. And I don't know if any of you guys had ever heard him talk before, but to equate the way he looks to his voice is so strange. He does not sound like he looks.
I still haven't heard how he sounds yet, so I'll be the judge of that later on.
Yeah, you will be surprised. You go, that's him? That's his voice? But yeah. The A's, they had two really good offensive outings. The last two games, I think they had over 10 hits both games. I know the first.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, the first game they won, they had 10 runs and 13 hits.
Yeah, I was thinking 12, but maybe more than that. I think there's a lot of walks too.
Yeah.
But then third game got off to a decent start. Manaea, complete game.
Complete game. That's the A's second complete game in a week, I do believe. Yeah.
First one was Bassett against the Angels. And Manaea, his velocity was there. The movement was there. He had great command. Double plays came in when he needed them most.
And some offense, timely hits.
Yeah, Moreland was a blast. Canna and Olsen was RBI singles.
Yeah, because when the A's don't play well offensively, they strike out a lot, and that might be the case for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
But the A's were striking out 10, 12, 13 times a game. It was like, hit the damn ball. You can't make anything happen if you don't hit the ball.
Yeah, and one player that has been really striking that for, if I'm saying that right, is Matt Chapman. Before the third game of the series, he was actually under 200, and it just seems like he can't hit the fastball to save his life.
Yeah.
Just so many times he just strike out. Like the second game of the series, he had 3 strikeouts and a double play. Just completely negative in terms of production for the offense.
Well, watching the game, even the announcer said that the relief pitcher for Seattle was throwing him fastballs, and a off-speed pitch was called, and he shook off the sign and threw a fastball. Now, normally you don't want to do that to a major league hitter because most major league hitters can hit a fastball. But he knew that Chapman was struggling hitting the fastball, and he threw right by him, struck him out, and that was sad to have everybody in the stadium. It seemed like know that he was going to get a fastball thrown him, and he couldn't hit it.
Yeah, really frustrating. But he did have 2 hits in the third game of the series. Really nice. But
I think he's back over 200.
Yeah, but one player that actually deserves some recognition that we've both been not happy with for most of the season has been Elvis Andrus. He, in his last 23 games, I believe, has been hitting over 300.
And folks, if you do recall, I'm pretty sure on this podcast I said because at the time he was around 150.
143.
143. I said if he doesn't get above 150 in a week, then get rid of him because he is just hurting the team too much offensively. While his defense is so-so.
Yeah, he's had some bad defensive moments, but lately,
if you're not going to hit either, get out of Dodge, as they say. But he's the last. What's his batting average the last 20 games?
Like over 300.
Over 300. So he's over 200 now. So most of the lineup is all over 200, which you shouldn't have to say.
Yeah.
But a week ago we had at least three players batting under 200.
Well, that's always been the situation for the A's, I feel, because they rely on home run hitting. They don't rely on manufacturing hits normally, or runs normally with just back-to-back hits and all that. It's more just home run balls, and you can tell that because a lot of the averages for the past few years tend to be pretty low. Like how often do we see players we have batting over 275 or even 260?
Yeah, Olsen has impressed me this year. He's got to be batting, I think, close to 270.
Close.
Yeah, because last year while he still had a lot of home runs or this or that, he was batting right around 200.
Yeah.
You can't be a major leaguer and be in his starting lineup every night. Even though, gotta tell you, he does get a break because he saves a lot of runs with his defense.
Yeah, and some of his home runs are really clutch as well. It's hard to let go of someone if they're hitting a lot of home runs, even with a low average. Some home runs are just too valuable, especially for a team like the A's, since that's how they win ball games. And that was the big problem with the 3-game losing streak is in those 3 games they weren't hitting home runs.
Well, they weren't hitting at all. I mean, you can't win a game when you get 4 hits in a game. You can't, unless all of them are home runs or you can the pitcher clamped down on the other team. But that wasn't the case. We were losing games because we weren't scoring any runs.
Yeah, but things are definitely going a little bit better for the A's right now. Next up, they're going to play the Colorado Rockies in Colorado. I always look forward to National League Series in their territory because even though I prefer designated hitters in the league, I do believe they should be universal. It is kind of fun to see one of our pitchers batting, even though it really does kind of handicap our offense a little bit. And when they do get a hit, though, it's pretty fun to see. I remember in 2019, Brett Anderson had 2 hits.
Woo! It kind of sounds like you're backing up what Marissa said about having pitchers hit. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, even though I already said I prefer universal DHs, but it is kind of fun to see every now and then.
Yeah, what's the word on Marissa? How's she doing?
She's doing pretty well. She's about to finish her softball season and is about to be done with Chabot as well. So
there's hope we can get her for a couple episodes?
Yeah, hopefully.
That's good. That'd be nice to have her back.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of a Giant fan, well, not speaking of it, well, we are speaking of a Giant fan, but the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants are playing good once again.
Yeah, they're still somehow holding on to the number 1 spot in the NL West. It's still pretty shocking because I feel like the Dodgers have been playing a lot better, but they're in 3rd right now.
Well, they got Cueto back. They swept the Dodgers.
No, 3 out of 4.
Okay.
But it was like the first game that they lost. So I think in the series against the Dodgers they're down by 1. Like Dodgers have won 4, Giants have won 3.
And they're still in first place. So congratulations, Giants.
Yeah, even though we do plan on sweeping you when we play against you eventually.
Sweep you! Sweep! Get out the brooms!
We will beat you. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Calling it right there. But anyways, a team that has been disappointing, and it's a team that I tried to root for a bit not root for exactly, but I like their players is the Atlanta Braves, because they're, I believe, second right now in their division. They're still 2 games below 500, and there's so many times like I feel like they're posted a lot on social media on certain plays, especially Acuna, but then they're still losing, and I guess that's just really that Acuna is doing a lot to keep them, playing well.
Well, only one team is above 500.
Yeah,
in that division.
That's the Mets, and they're not above by much. So the NL East is not too good of a division. It really isn't. And then you got the AL East. The Tampa Bay Rays are still leading that one, although Boston isn't too far behind. I believe like 2 or 3 games behind.
Yeah, Baltimore is the only. Baltimore is bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
With the losing record, everybody else has winning records, so it's all relatively close.
Yeah, we tied the season series with them somehow. We had to go against Joe Means twice.
Yeah, he was tough on us.
Oh, very tough, and he earned that no-hitter, no doubt about it. Anything else about?
Was there
baseball?
any no-hitters last week?
No, surprisingly.
No, we had. How many we had this year? 4?
6.
6 this year? Woo!
4 or 6. I could be wrong, but it.
Well, so could I.
Yeah, but
let's just say we're both wrong, and it's 5. Okay.
But anyways, is that it for baseball?
Yeah. Let's go to basketball.
Yeah. So we actually have the Portland and Denver game playing right now, and I know someone was watching Game 5 of the series because I could hear them from my room the other night.
Yeah, that was an incredible game. Me and my wife were watching it, and Portland was down by something like 7 points with under a minute left. So I changed the channel.
It was 30 seconds or something like that.
What's that?
30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we changed the channel, watched the A's game, and I turned it back to see what the final was, and it was going into overtime. So Lillard did something. He scored 55 that game.
Yeah.
And then he scored the first. No, he didn't score the first 5 points, but he did score at least 5 points in the overtime, second overtime.
Yeah. And I heard McCollum wasn't too good.
Yeah, he had an off night. But it was a really entertaining game. Yeah,
and that's how Lillard has been for a lot of his career. He's just a guy that will put the team on his back. Sure, he'll shoot a lot of balls and miss, but he'll make plenty as well.
And while this game we're watching right now, Game 6, Denver is down by 11 points in Portland, and I expect Portland to win this game and send it to Denver for the 7th game.
Yeah. I don't know who will win after that, but I would like it to be Portland, just because of Lillard alone.
Yeah. Lillard's an Oakland kid, so pulling for him.
Yeah, pulling for the native.
Yeah, and Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic in line for MVP.
In line for MVP.
Yeah. I think, on who I think should win it should be first Curry, second Jokic, and then third Embiid. That's pretty much how I feel about it. Do you feel the same or different?
Well, I want Curry because he made such a difference to the team. Now I don't know how many games Jokic missed, so I don't know what the record is without him.
Yeah.
But I know the Warriors' record without Steph was miserable.
1-9.
1-9. Yeah. So
the other series in the playoffs right now, Suns are up 3-2 against the Lakers. And it does look like Anthony Davis is on track to come back.
He is coming back?
Yeah, it's a really good chance. Unless something goes wrong in practice, he'll be back.
How about Paul?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he should be.
He looked to be in a lot of pain, and he's been playing through pain this series, it seems like. But he's a tough guy. Not that tough, but he's tough enough to try to end it for the Suns.
Yeah. I hope the Suns are able to finish it. I don't want to see
the Lakers out of there. I don't want to hear about LeBron no more.
And then for the Mavericks and Clippers, I want Mavericks to win, of course. Just take out both LA teams. I don't want to see either of them in the playoffs anymore.
Yeah, that's a strange series there because no home team has won a game yet. Yeah. And where do they play next?
It should be.
Oh, they play in Dallas tonight. So we'll see if that streak of non-winning home teams continues.
And that does remind me, going back to baseball, of the 2019 World Series where it was the Astros and Nationals, and the Astros had home field advantage, and the Nationals won as every team that was away.
No home team won.
Yeah, no home team won.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah. Well, this has been a weird series because Dallas won the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And you would think that, okay, well,
they got it.
Yeah, the Clippers are going to roll over and, time to go on vacation kind of thing. But they won the next 2 in Dallas. So it's been a good series.
And then the Milwaukee Bucks swept the Miami Heat. Yeah, so, going from a finals appearance to a first-round exit, a sweep, too, is pretty heartbreaking if you're a Miami fan.
Yeah, they beat Milwaukee last year and didn't really give too much of a fight this year. Brooklyn beat the Celtics in a 5-game series. Was that what we pretty much predicted?
Yeah, I think we said like 5 games. I think we might have said sweep. I don't know, but we didn't really think Celtics had much of a chance, to be honest.
No, Brooklyn is so tough. They got offense coming out of their ass, and it was a one-sided series.
Yeah, but one other thing, just to talk about basketball here has been on and off is the fans and the behavior that they've had during these playoffs has been very unusual, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like just pent-up frustration for not getting outside, the whole pandemic thing, and now they think they can do what they want or say what they want to players. But there has been instances of where the fans have been abusive to the players.
Yeah, you got the whole thing with Kyrie Irving. I'm not saying that it was right for him to, step on the logo as he did in the Celtics area. That's not really too cool to do, but it still doesn't excuse throwing a water bottle at him. Then you got Russell Westbrook as he's going to the locker room, having someone throw popcorn at him. Then you got someone spitting on Trae Young.
Yeah, it's so unnecessary.
And then one other thing where a fan, I think, ran onto the court. I'm not sure which game it was. I think it had to do with the Mavericks and Clippers, but...
Now, I personally think this is a very... random occurrence that's happening right now, because in the almost history of the NBA, there's been so few instances where the fans will throw stuff at the players. I just think it's the case of you don't want one bad apple spoiling the whole thing, and that's basically why we're talking about it, because it has happened a little bit more often than it should have.
Yeah, it's really just people being complete idiots. Yeah, to say the least. And I don't know if there's really much else to say about it, really. Just hopefully that, the security can make sure it doesn't happen, although it's hard to plan for something like that. You never know when a fan is just going to want to run on the court, and you can't watch every single person 24/7.
Well, I will add one thing, and that's the idiocy of Kyrie Irving to step on the logo of the opposing team. That's unnecessary. And I think, personally, he's going to get retribution next year. Maybe not this year. Well, definitely not this year because they're not playing him anymore. But something will happen next year.
Yeah, well, hopefully, it's more that maybe the Celtics just beat the Nets and all that. Hopefully no one tries to do anything, crazy.
You never know. That was very disrespectful.
Yeah. So the fans need to be the better person in situations like that.
Well, he should have been the better person as well.
I'm not saying that what Kyrie Irving did was okay, but still, just don't. You don't.
Is he going to make you throw away your Kyrie Irving T-shirt?
Never had one.
Okay. Autograph?
No. But last topic though, and it's something that you wanted to talk about, so I'll let you introduce it.
Well, it is an off the wall subject, and that is managers' uniforms in baseball. Why do the managers wear players' uniforms when they're not playing? They're managers. Every other sport, they either wear a suit or, say, a jogging outfit or something appropriate. Baseball, they wear a uniform.
Yeah.
Basketball, a suit.
And then football is more like you said, the jogging outfit, or more like team attire.
Yeah, soccer. Jogging type thing.
Yeah, it's a mix of that because some coaches do wear suits, some other ones do wear more jogging outfits.
Yeah, no, the old time manager for the Philadelphia A's, Connie Mack, who actually is the record holder in wins and losses.
Yeah.
He managed the Philadelphia A's from 1901 to 1950 with 3,700 wins and 3,900 losses. That's just incredible. Anyway, he wore a suit.
Yeah.
And I don't know what year it was. I guess we could have actually researched this a little bit better, but I don't know what year they decided to say, hey, you know what? You know what I think had to do with it? When there became player managers, such as Frank Robinson, Joe Torre, who was the other one we were talking about?
Pete Rose, you said?
Pete Rose, yeah. And it just became, I guess, a fad of some sort. And that's the only thing I could think of. But it's kind of ridiculous when you see this old, 60-year-old guy in a uniform that, I would have to think it'd be weird getting dressed in a uniform if you're a baseball manager, if you have no intention of playing at all. It looks silly in comparison to the other sports.
Yeah, and they also get their own number as well, and so do all the other coaches. They get their own number.
Well, that was a total random thought. I thought I would throw it out there. I was thinking about it the other day, watching an old man manager go out there and in the uniform. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you got today?
I can't really.
Any football? Any football news?
Julio Jones hasn't been traded yet. He's been.
Julio Jones news.
He hasn't been. He's been talked about a lot, and some people do think that he could be a good fit for the Raiders. For a second-round pick, I totally say so. I really don't know where he's going to go because it's just like the news have been so vague, and I hear people say like, oh, it looks like the Raiders might be a front runner, and then I hear other people say, oh no, it's going to be this team instead. It's just like I'll just wait until I get the news that he's traded or not.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's retained. It does seem like he will be traded. I just don't know where yet, but I think he could be a great mentor. And also just like an X-Factor type player.
Does he seem like the mentoring type?
I think so.
He seems like a whiny type dude to me.
Whiny?
Yeah.
No, he seems like a pretty chill guy in my opinion.
Okay.
I've never got any diva attitude from him. Not exactly a lunch pail player. Is that what the term you have? Lunch pail player. Not exactly like that, but I would think he's close. Besides, the only time that he's had some drama is right now with wanting out of Atlanta. But of course, who doesn't want out of Atlanta, honestly.
I don't even live there and want to get out of there.
Like, they have a good offense. They always have a good offense, but it's never, good enough. And I feel like Matt Ryan definitely can be inconsistent at times.
I think the only time their defense was great was when they played the Raiders.
No, it was actually pretty good when they got the new, the interim coach. I can't remember his name, but I remember Raiders did look at him for a bit, I think, for defensive coordinator. But, I'm still happy with Gus Bradley and all. But, that was it. I do hope that they can get Julio Jones for, like, a second-round pick. If it's a second-round pick and then a player, like a small leverage player on top of that, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
He is in his early 30s, but still, he can still put up great numbers. He can be really reliable in the end zone as well. But, yeah.
Well, on that note, everybody, hey, you got anything else you said?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, that's it for me also.
Yeah, we kept it pretty short, but I still think we did a pretty good job today. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Good night.
Good night.